Yeah, people ask me that all the time, like, how could you carry a baby and just give it away, basically? And I think you go through the process and you know you're doing this to change somebody's life. You're giving them a family. And I know that they, like, through the whole process, I saw how they wanted a baby so badly. So it was more pressure than anything. Like, I remember on the transfer day, August 31st, I remember upstairs we have this little hangout room, we call it, for the kids, little couch, a TV. I went up there, got down on my knees. I don't pray often, especially down on my knees. I prayed that my body, because I said this, like, my mind was like, I'm all in, let's do this, but I don't have control for my body, what it could do. And I just prayed to God, please, I'm holding their happiness. They want this so bad. I'll never forget that moment.
Well, welcome back to part 2, to be continued, right? Some would say this is like the better part of the story. No offense to Mark, who's no longer on the show right now. He was a good addition, but maybe this is the better part of the story.
We get into more of
their
the
boy
happy,
is the better part. Yes, the happy stuff.
the happy stuff.
Yeah.
Sam Scott, welcome.
Sam Scott,
welcome.
thank you.
Yes,
Thank
you're
you.
like everyone was wondering, who is this mysterious lady that just happened to say, I'll carry your child.
I know. So we heard their version of the story. I want to hear your version of that same story.
Okay, so it was a Sunday. I think it was like April 23rd, I believe. And my husband and I, we just went to Sun River. We bought trees. I was planting a tree. They walked by. And Brandon, as usual, talks to anybody that walks by. And how are you guys?
That's true.
And Mark had said, we're doing good. And I was like, what's new? And then he had talked about the egg retrieval. And I was like, that's so awesome. What's the next step? And then Jamie had said, we're looking for a surrogate. I think we're going to go that route. And I just said, I'll do it. I didn't even ask Brandon. I didn't even, I was like, I'll do it. And I said that full-heartedly, meaning I'll do it.
But you didn't even think. It sounded like you just jumped in.
And maybe if I thought about it, I probably would have said no. So no.
Was it like an urge? Like what? I mean, most women would
know.
not just
What
spurt
prompted
that
it?
out. Yeah.
I don't know. I love being pregnant, and I'll do it. When I was at the park when my oldest daughter was little, and there was a lady there pregnant, and I just got talking to her, and it turned out that she was caring for a friend, and I was like, that is the neatest thing. And I never had thought of, I'm going to do that one day. It was like, I could do that, but more probably for a family or a sister or, thinking someone not necessarily a stranger, would never go through an agency. If it came about my way, I would do it. So maybe that's what happened that day. It just came about, right place, right time. I'll do it.
So so you love being pregnant. How many kids biologically do you have that are yours?
3.
You have 3 kids.
Yep.
Their ages are?
I have a 16-year-old girl, 13-year-old boy, and 11-year-old girl.
Okay, so your life was somewhat normal.
Yep, good ages.
I guess 8 years. So this was 2 years ago. So your youngest was 8 at the time. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you had a little baby to care for.
Yep.
So you had that going for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you and Brandon have been married for how long?
Almost 19 years. Crazy.
19 years.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So, okay, now let's go to I'll do it.
Yeah.
Which is still is mind-blowing. Real quick, what was Brandon's reaction when he heard you say those words?
Did he hear you say that?
I think so. Wasn't he right there?
Yeah, he was right there.
Did he?
Okay.
Yeah, he probably just thought maybe that, I don't know, maybe it won't work that way. I don't know what he thought, honestly. We met with them at Kitchen 88. Like, Jamie reached out to me probably a few days later.
I was like, are you
I
serious?
think it was about
And
a week later.
Yeah, she texted me. She got my number from a neighbor, Brittany. She texted me, and we met at Kitchen 88, all four of us, and just talked, and it went just from there.
So what, like, you sit down, were you thinking like I gotta ask, like, or were you like at that point, she's serious, let's talk about moving forward? Or were you really questioning, like, did she really mean that?
I mean, I was probably the most awkward person on the planet at that conversation because I was like, I don't even know what I should be asking.
Yeah.
And I don't even know, like, I don't know. I think a couple people had like loosely offered, but what I didn't know was like, this is a huge sacrifice. I mean, you're sacrificing your body. This is a sacrifice on your time, your family. I guess I think I was just kind of stunned a little bit. Like, what do I even say?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. And because we didn't know Sam and Brandon super well at the time, it was kind of like, well, why would they do this for us?
Right.
You know?
What do they want from it?
Well, it wasn't even that. It was just,
why?
yeah, like, who are these people? They're incredible. Like, it was just, yeah.
I
We were
remember
shocked.
we ended the night, and I looked at Jamie and I said, I'm serious, I'll do it. And we just parted our ways that night. And then she got my number, and
That was the first day you said that. Okay, so you're sitting at the restaurant. Did you go in thinking like, okay, they're gonna ask us, or like, did you think that's why you were getting together? You were moving to the next steps of the conversation. Okay, and at that point, in between when you blurted this out on the street, what was the conversation with you and Brandon? Did Brandon bring it up? Were you like, no, I do it? What?
Yeah, there wasn't. I mean, we had to see all the steps. We didn't know like all the steps and all that. So I think it wasn't super serious conversation at that point yet, because there was so many, like, I didn't know if they wanted to use me as a surrogate. I didn't, there were so many things to get to that point. So yeah.
So how did that conversation at dinner go?
For
And
you,
then-
I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even know if you knew the process of the surrogacy. She didn't even know.
didn't.
Like, we didn't know. They didn't know the process. So she was just figured it out. We talked and was like, okay, I don't know the steps, but I'm going to figure it out and I'll call you. And so as she figured out all the, like, I had to meet all these, like, had to be at least 21. You had to have at least one child. You had to be a U.S. citizen, like all of these qualifications. And then you can move on to the medical. And then I had to do like a psychologist whole test thing. And
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Was this through your fertility clinic, or is it separate?
Well, so the fertility clinic kind of had the process laid out for us of, okay, this is the next step. Okay, this is the next step. I don't think we fully knew what we were getting into when we first were looking into this. In Utah, and it's different for every state, but they treat surrogacy very much like an adoption. So you kind of go through that same process more or less. And so, it was a lot.
Yeah.
we didn't realize what we were getting ourselves into, but Sam was just like so patient with us. So like, okay, what's the next step? And she had to go through like the medical clearance and make sure that she was cleared medically. They took like all of your OB records from all of your previous pregnancies, and we
I
had
had to have 7 vials of blood taken. And
they're
This
testing.
was just all the pre-tests.
And they did all of this for me as well, just to make sure like
There weren't
there's
any inconsistencies,
no diseases or anything that needs to be worried about when the embryo is placed within someone else's body.
Yeah. So you said you love being pregnant, or you like being pregnant. Like, we didn't have that experience. You did not love being pregnant because of the side effects.
so hard.
Right. What about
Right.
pregnancy did you like? Where you're like, I could do it
I
again?
know.
Because most women would not just want to do that
I feel
again.
like I
No.
just feel good. There's no PMS, I guess. You're just nice, chill. And I think it's just a miracle. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And
I
your
just
recoveries after
had-
pregnancy have been
Yep.
easy or
Yep.
easier. Yeah. So it
Good.
wasn't like you were
Yep.
scared of it. Wow.
Okay, so you have to do all the pre-tests and everything looked good. Then what?
So then they started me on shots. I had to do estrogen, progesterone before, and I want to say it was 2 weeks of that before
Okay.
they did the transfer. So we did that, and then the transfer date was August 31st.
Yep, August
Yep.
31st.
2023. Yeah.
Wow.
So we met in April. All of that, and then the transfer's August. So
4
that
months,
was
yeah.
pretty quick.
That's pretty
Very
quick.
fast.
Yeah, it went
It's
very
very
smooth
abnormal.
and
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not typical for this process. Like it just, yeah, it's usually at least a year to.
Yeah.
Did you have any hesitancy or fears that you were going to grow attached? You know, it wasn't your embryo, wasn't your sperm. Like, this wasn't your baby you're carrying.
Yeah.
Did you ever, like, oh gosh, what if? What if or this? Like, did you have any of those in the back of your head?
I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, people ask me
Yeah.
that all the time. Like, how could you carry a baby and just give it away, basically? And
Yeah.
I think you go through the process and you know you're doing this to change somebody's life. You're giving them a family. And I know that they, like, through the whole process, I saw how they wanted a baby so badly. So it was more pressure than anything. Like, I remember on the transfer day, August 31st, I remember upstairs we have this little hangout room, we call it, for the kids, little couch, a TV. I went up there, got down on my knees. I don't pray often, especially down on my knees. I prayed that my body, because I said this, like, my mind was like, I'm all in, let's do this, but I don't have control for my body, what it could do. And I just prayed to God, please, I'm holding their happiness. They want this so bad. I'll never forget that moment.
It is,
Wow.
I was going to say one of, but it is the most selfless act a woman can do, is to give her body up to bring a baby here, especially for somebody else. And that act, I remember sitting at dinner with you and a few other friends and telling us, and I was floored. Because by this point, you were already pregnant. Mm-hmm. You were already carrying. You already knew. And it was the most beautiful story I have ever heard. Completely selfless.
It was incredible. So many people along have told me what a sacrifice and what an honor. It wasn't a sacrifice, it was an honor to be trusted by them, to carry their child, and to be that example to my kids. Huge honor.
We gotta pause here for a second, not stop recording, but holy cow.
I know.
Wow.
So, I want you to tell everybody how you announced to
Yeah, this is the fun part.
friends there's a bunko group that
And we're gonna show the
happens.
picture, describe it.
We'll
We can
show the
show it.
picture.
Yep. We're gonna embarrass you. We are gonna show it.
Yeah, it is.
I love it
It's
so
deserved
much.
to
And I
be
missed
shown.
this night. I was so disappointed, but I got a one-on-one
Yeah.
storytelling later.
Do you want to share, Sam? Or
I'm gonna let you.
well, we wanted to tell, the neighborhood, because obviously it would become apparent that Sam was pregnant,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And so it's like, okay, when is the right time to tell everyone? Because Sam was like, well, I don't want people to think or it's not my baby, so I have to have some sort of kind of explanation, right? And
Absolutely.
So I was like, what if for Bunko they were doing like a Halloween Bunko where everyone dresses up?
And this is where a lot of the women in our neighborhood are getting
Yes.
together
Yes.
every month to do this. Yeah.
Once a month, game
And
night.
I'm like, what if we dressed up, did something along the lines of bun in the oven or some sort of announcement at Bunko? And so we got this costume. It's funny. But
And here's the costume. We'll
It
show
was
it right
perfect.
here.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
yes. And yeah, Sam, let's see. Were you the oven?
oven, yeah.
You were the oven and I was a chef. So essentially saying like, we had created this embryo and Sam was baking it for us. And
I love it.
And I think that was the analogy that was used by the psychologist when we had gone through that whole process with her before we did the transfer of this is how you explain it to Brady when he starts to ask questions about how I got here and what the process is.
Yeah.
And so I just thought that was kind of
That's
special
so cute.
to use that as the costume to kind of announce to the neighborhood. And I think walking in, I remember, whose house was it at? Do you remember?
It was at Jenny Lynn's.
Jenny Lynn's.
Yep.
That's right. We walked in and a couple really close friends knew that you were pregnant, I think. But majority didn't know yet. And we walked in and I think people were kind of like, what? Like, we don't get it. Like, oven,
Yeah.
chef.
You too, yeah.
And I was like, we're pregnant. And everyone was cheering. And then I was like, and Sam's caring for us.
Oh my gosh.
And I will never forget that night. Like, it was just the love and the support of the community, these women that had kind of known my journey thus far. And just, it's unmatched. And that's made it so much more special, I think, too, is being in the same neighborhood. Like, a lot of people know both of us,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And so, I don't know. I thought it was so, I don't know. I won't forget that night.
And then another thing I forgot, September 11th.
Yes.
I had my blood drawn to see if I was pregnant on September 11th. And I remember I went in and they want your levels to be at least at 100. And my level was like 600 and something.
Woo!
And I think that was the time that maybe when you've had your blood drawn and they told you. So I remember you guys saying that like those numbers were so huge for you guys because your numbers were increasing when you were pregnant. And so you guys worried for that day. And to see that huge number, it was just, and then
We got multiples, right? Like,
Yeah,
there was
I
a
know.
point where we
I
were
know,
like,
is there twins
could
in
the
there?
embryo split?
Because
And
those
we thought
numbers are
maybe,
so, yeah.
they were very high.
And then just the whole, I don't know if you want to share this, the whole tender mercy of your story of the September 11th. How
Yeah.
you just, there's a little,
Yeah.
you can share it.
I mean, so I grew up in New Jersey, and so of course we were pretty close to the 9/11 attacks. Let's see, I was probably in 7th grade, and when that happened, my dad was supposed to be in the World Trade Center for a meeting that day, and at the time he worked from home, so it was kind of shocking that he would have to be there on that day. And the night before his meeting got canceled, there wasn't a great reason, but for me, that day had previously felt so heavy. And to have this shift of this is the day that we found out about our little miracle, just
Wow.
such a special change to a day that previously had
Right.
been so hard and impacted, while we were so blessed that my dad wasn't there,
Yeah.
so many people we knew were impacted. And so it was just kind of a tender mercy to
Wow.
have that
On
date
September 11th.
be, the date we found out about our little guy.
So a question I have is, because most surrogacies don't happen this way.
Yeah.
They don't happen in the same neighborhood. And how often do they even happen in the same state?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that, do you know, were you on a waiting list for anybody that was within the US? I mean, I don't know how that works. And maybe you didn't get that far. I don't know.
I think we were just on a general waiting list. We didn't know, where these individuals were. My assumption was that because the clinic was here in Utah, a lot of them were somewhat local, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I
Yeah.
think more often than not, it's someone out of state. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
I have to jump back to that, I guess, August 31st when you went to your knees. That was, that's pretty powerful. Did you feel anything? Was it just a plea, but you didn't know where that would go?
I didn't know where it would go. It was a plea, and I remember the feeling of my home. And I remember Jamie texted me in the morning too. We felt like heaven was in our home. Like it just had this special spirit in my home. And I remember I was looking at, I kept a little journal of stuff that we had shared. And I remember her saying that how special her home felt that morning. And
For me, the question to continue, 9 months, it's a long time. Your previous pregnancies, you felt great, no problems.
Yep.
Were there any things that happened in that 9 months that made you like get worried that wasn't like the previous pregnancy, or was it just like, I'm good? You knew it. Did you have that
sailing
confidence?
the whole time.
there was a little scare in the beginning, a hemorrhage, right?
Hematoma.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was very minor. They weren't too worried about it. They just said like no intercourse, working out for I want to say it was like a month. It was a while. So, and that's hard, on my marriage, a month.
Sure.
So, yeah. But it resolved, and it was just the pressure of carrying their happiness.
Yeah.
And that was a lot. I don't think that people realize that as a surrogate. So, yeah.
Carrier of happiness. I love that. We need to inscribe that.
Yep. I want to ask, since you were in the same neighborhood and good friends, obviously family now, did you go to all the doctor's appointments and feeling him kick? I mean, how involved, what did it look like?
You were there for all of it, every appointment. And I think like that's so unique for surrogacy because a lot of people are out of state. A lot of times we text Sam and be like, can we pick you up for our appointment? And we, go together, and it just really allowed us to like strengthen the relationship. And
I feel like I was following you guys to your guys' appointment. It was your guys' appointment. Because, it was. It was,
Wow.
so special.
yeah.
Interesting.
They were there through it all.
So
Yeah.
your husband's not here. No. He's another part. Like, obviously, you were the one that carried, and he was the one that supported you. I mean, if you consider a Mary and Joseph, right? You guys mentioned that in your last episode. He wasn't the father, and you were carrying someone else's child. How did he support you through that? What was that? I mean, he's not here to speak first person, but what was that like for him?
He was very, very supportive, just almost as if I was carrying our own, just whatever I needed, foot massages or rubbing my back or the end of the pregnancy or shots. He would give me many of my shots. I had to take shots. After the transfer, I had to do 10 weeks of shots.
Wow.
So he would help me with that and super supportive.
And we love Brandon, so that was my little shout out to Brandon. He's one of my favorite people
We
on this
call him our
planet.
neighborhood mayor.
Yeah, he's our neighborhood
He
mayor.
talks to everybody
Yeah.
and says hi to everybody.
But he's
the best.
a great person, and that
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me that that's how he treated you during
No.
this.
Yeah.
Was it ever strained? Like, oh gosh, why are you doing this? Now this is causing an issue in our family.
No, I don't feel like it was ever a strain in our marriage. I mean, the intercourse for a month, and then I'm taking all these hormones, maybe made me a little, like, anxious and
Spicy.
stuff.
It's called spicy.
Yeah, but no, there was never a strain. He is all about helping people.
Oh, he is.
He is, like, so...
Yeah, he's a volunteer search and rescue, right? So, yeah. So talk to us about your kids.
That's what I wanted to know.
How,
what the
how did you
conversation.
explain it to them? And
So I did not say anything to our kids until I had to have the interview with the psychologist. Brandon and I had to do it for 2 hours over Zoom.
Wow.
So it was in our home. It was during summer. I want to say it was in June. And so I had to tell the kids, I'm like, hey, we're going to do this for Mark and Jamie. And we got to be very quiet. And my kids were amazing. Like, Zeta planned my outfits for 2 weeks. When I had my big belly, her and Ivory carried watermelons on their stomach for they lasted 2 hours.
yeah.
But they loved it so much. They were so excited for it, and yeah, it was very special to share with my family.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Wow.
So how did you tell your family? And how did you tell
Not your kids,
your
like
family?
parents or
parents
extended
and
family?
siblings,
Yeah.
Yes.
You can go ahead.
I mean, most of my close family, like immediate family, like my parents and brother, knew when the transfer was happening. So I just called them, shortly after we got the phone call and told them we're pregnant. And it's funny because I remember a close friend of mine saying like, oh boy, like I knew you were calling. I didn't know what you were going to say, like were you pregnant or not pregnant. And, but everyone was just so excited for us. It was awesome.
That's so cool.
A day I'll never forget.
I'm sure. Yeah. What did your family say, Sam?
My family was very supportive. My mom had worries, her daughter carrying the baby. Like, how is this going to affect her mentally? Is she going to be able to handle this? So, yes, my mom definitely voiced her concerns, but very supportive. My dad's supportive as well. Brandon's parents, just loving and just like, that's so amazing, and very happy for us. So, yeah. Huge support team. Neighborhood, family, we just are blessed.
That's
All
beautiful.
the people around us.
I love that.
So 9 months goes by. And when was the due date supposed to be?
It was a week after the 12th because she was 39 weeks when
So May 20th,
delivered. Yeah, that sounds maybe
May
more.
19th.
It was right around, the dates kind of
Yes.
changed throughout the pregnancy,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah.
I remember like May 19th, May 21st. Yeah, it was right around then.
So
Okay.
what actually happened?
So they say typically with IVF pregnancies, it's a little bit safer to sometimes take the baby a little bit early. And so right around the 39-week mark, we were having those, or I guess probably a little bit earlier, we were having those conversations with our doctor, and he said, we'll kind of see if it happens naturally, and if not, we'll plan on, I think it was the Friday before, so it would have been May 10th. Is that right? Like that we were kind of thinking we would induce, and for whatever reason it wasn't good for the doctor to deliver that day. I can't remember if he was out of town or he's like, what about Sunday? And I'm like, that's Mother's Day. That's, if you want to do that day, that's great. And like, Sam, how do you feel about Mother's Day? Because you're in the hospital,
Yeah.
Yes,
delivering
absolutely.
this baby.
That is cool. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty
And-
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
So they induced you
Yep.
on Mother's Day. How long were you in labor before baby Brady was here?
I went in at like 5 a.m. We had to be there.
so
and
early.
And you guys were both, Mark and Jamie, you were both there, of course.
And Brandon,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
Brandon.
my kids were in there.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, they were.
This is a big family
was
event. I love it.
It was
So cool.
It was.
Yeah.
And so how long, so you were in at 5 a.m. and then a couple hours?
What time did I have
Brady
him?
was born
Around
at 6:31, I think.
6:31.
That night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
so
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
PM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
It was an all-day thing. But
Yeah.
But he came on Mother's Day.
Came Mother's Day. Yes.
Okay.
And so special too, we didn't mention your aunt was the nurse.
Oh, yes.
Delivery.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Did you plan that?
Or she was
or
on
she
call.
just was working?
I can't remember if she knew I was going to have, so she decided to work, or she just happened to, that was her shift, but I can't remember. But yep,
That's
she was the nurse in the room, and so
Timing too was crazy.
there's my
because-
sister-in-law.
Your sister-in-law. That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Aunt.
Brandon's brother's wife.
What I remember being so cool is that the doctor's shift was up like pretty soon. We were kind of getting anxious because I think his shift was going to change, and I'm like, okay, well, I want him to be the one to deliver.
He had to be
Yeah.
at a different hospital to
Yes.
do a delivery.
Yes.
So yeah,
And it was
like at 6:00. So
Yeah.
we're like, and Brady was turned different. So he was
Yes.
so hard. He was my hardest delivery.
Was he breech?
Not breech, but he was posterior. I think his head was
Yes,
up instead of
posterior.
Yeah.
So there was I was like, just cut me C-section. There was moments where it was a hard delivery.
Yeah. Well, the cord was wrapped around his neck too.
Oh my gosh.
And so, fortunately, it wasn't anything too crazy, but there was a time when they said, do we need to prep for NICU? Is he going to end up in the NICU? And so, you're hearing all these things in the room, and it's like, what's going on? So everything fell into place, and we were able to have our doctor and Melody there as the delivery nurse or charge nurse, I guess, right? It just...
And something in that delivery room that I will be eternally grateful for. More tears.
Please.
The Johnsons were there for probably like over 2 hours. I got to feed Brady. My kids got to hold him. I wanted my kids especially to have that peace and that closure. Like, this is what our family did for this family. That's why I wanted them in there to watch as well, so they could be a part of it. Because we did. We all of us did it as a family together, all of us.
Wow. That is
So
so
it was
beautiful.
just so neat. Because they could have just took Brady and left and had that moment with him, but I will eternally be grateful that they gave us that time with him.
Well, it's so special too, because, our parents came. I think your parents were there. And it's just like, some of these people had never met each other, but you're in kind of the most vulnerable situation. And you're
Immediate
just,
bond and love.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
something that most people don't ever get to experience.
No.
Yeah.
So,
I want to know.
Yes.
The cord was wrapped around his neck. Did he still come out crying?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they unwrapped it.
see,
They unwrapped it
okay.
really
They
quick.
were
There
able
wasn't
to-
a knot or,
That was
Yeah.
fine. So what was it like hearing that first little cry? And I'm going to ask for you to also speak for Mark if...
Yeah, I mean, it was just such a... There were so many emotions because we were like, is he okay? We had heard that maybe there might be a NICU experience. It's like, I didn't know whether to be excited
Yeah.
or worried
Yeah.
or, I think it's kind of a full range of emotions, but I'll never forget they put Brady on Sam to, cut the umbilical cord and had him there and then brought him to me, and I was able to, they had me in a hospital gown so that I could do skin to skin with him. And just having him placed on me for the very first time is just nothing like you can ever describe, especially when it's something you've wanted for so long. it was incredible. So
Did you cut the cord?
I
Did
did
Mark
not.
cut the cord?
No,
Do you remember who?
Mark did
Yeah.
not cut the
No.
cord. I think we
Sometimes
just
it
had the
happens
doctor
so fast.
do it.
I
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah.
know.
And I think part of it too is we wanted to be respectful of Sam, right? Like
Yeah.
she is very vulnerable in this moment,
Yeah.
and we just made sure to stay kind of closer to her head so
Yeah.
that, you know, she doesn't feel like she has her privacy as well. And so,
Yeah.
you know, we just felt it would be best if the doctor, you know,
Yeah.
was
That
Makes
makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah. I can't help but think of the analogy of the Savior in, you know, giving his body and his life as a sacrifice that we might live. And I know you say it's an honor and it's not a sacrifice, but you gave your body so that there could be life for someone else. And I don't know if you've ever put yourself in the Savior's shoes, because that's a pretty big thing to do, but I can't help but to see you that way in giving life. That's special.
Thank you.
So, and we're friends with you and we see you all the time, but you know, you are on a pedestal for sure. And I know you haven't intended or aren't trying to, because you were doing something out of love, but that's a pretty special thing you've done.
Yep.
Thank you. It was incredible. It was very neat. Just the most beautiful experience. The greatest gift for my family. It was neat.
If there's a woman out there saying, gosh, I would do the same thing,
Do it.
what would you say? Talk to the, I want you to look at the camera over there, and I want you to look at that person and tell them what you feel.
I would say do it. There's nothing that can give you changing somebody's life. It feels so like I did my purpose here. I changed somebody's life. So I would do it. Definitely.
Thank you.
I know I feel so honored to be able to hear the whole story from beginning till now and to know you both. I have such great respect for you and for what you have had to go through. It's not easy to get little ones here sometimes.
what I'll say is all of the heartache, going through this process of having Sam carry made it all worth it. I mean, to establish a relationship with someone and their family that, you know, technically is not blood, right?
Yeah.
But all of the heartache was worth it. If I could go back to Jamie when we were going through it, I would have said, you just wait to see what I have prepared for you. Yeah. There's nothing in your life that can compare to that experience.
I love that. I mean, I can't help, and we're going to wrap up, but Brady has cells in your blood running through his body. And I don't know, I mean, maybe not anymore, but he did, right? Because you were the host, and that means you're a part of him. And, you know, there are some science, and I'll look it up and maybe post editing. Part of the fetus gives back to the mother.
Yeah, I've read that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so at times maybe you had a cold or you were sick. I've heard, and I'll confirm, the fetus actually supports the mom sometimes in those moments. So I can't help to think that you have a bond with him. He's not yours, but I know you have a bond. In fact, your oldest daughter, Zeta, babysits for him. Yeah. Your family's still very close. I mean, when you see him, do you feel a bond? He's not your son, you know that, but what kind of bond do you have with him?
Sometimes Jamie and Mark will say Aunt Sam or Uncle Brandon will refer us, and I'm like, I feel like he's a grandkid. A grandkid has a higher value than a niece or nephew, I think. So I'm like, I feel like he's kind of a grandkid. Like,
that's cool.
He's just
like that.
Special. Just, yes.
That reminded me one thing that I remember Sam saying she did was it sardines that you ate when you were pregnant? Because she read somewhere that it would help with brain function. And I'm like, I wouldn't even eat sardines on a normal day, let alone.
While pregnant, yeah.
But like things like that just showed that like she was like invested in this process. Like she cared enough about how Brady would turn out to do things like that.
That's
and
amazing.
So
Yeah.
that kind of just reminded me of, what you were talking about with.
You have something special right there. Can you hold it up? Can you share a little bit? What is this? And
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
I will.
So this is a book that Sam made us. This is, of course, the picture of when, he was put on my chest and first delivered. This is the most incredible book. I mean, Mark and I will read it. Brady, in fact, I sent some pictures to Sam of him flipping through it because he wants to see pictures and kind of understand his story.
I love that.
And yeah, it's just kind of like talks about the milestones, these are all the shots that I did, and your mom had to do a bunch too, and just some fun pictures, a lot of like bump pictures. And then there's a really special letter that Sam wrote one to Mark and I, kind of thanking us for allowing her to carry for us. And then she wrote one to Brady as well. And it's the most special thing. And if she's willing,
I'm not going to cry.
oh, please.
I'd love for her to read it.
This is a treat. I didn't know this was coming.
Jamie had said, I think Brady will watch this one day. She's like, I want you to read this.
Oh, cute.
Oh.
Says Braden, thank you for being so good to me during the 9 months of carrying you. It was a smooth pregnancy. Over the months, I grew to know your parents and their desire and determination to be a mom and a dad. They look forward to your first hard giggles, first t-ball games, mommy-son dates, holidays with you, and a lifetime of all the firsts. Your family prayed so hard for you. I hope you will always know how loved you are. Listen to your parents. They are your biggest protector and cheerleader. Always go to them with advice. They have been through it, believe it or not. Stand up for what is right, even when it means standing alone. Happiness will come from helping others, not collecting things. This world makes us feel like we can only be happy if we have this and that. I promise you, you will not be happy listening to the world. When you're having a bad day, do something nice for someone. We can either surround ourselves with mirrors or windows. Mirrors, you can only see yourself. Windows, you can see outside. Be a window person. Look out to help others. Big gulps, you are going to do great things in your life. Go make your parents proud. Rooting you on, Samantha Scott.
Oh, gosh.
We call him Big Gulps because he was 7'11". He weighed 7 pounds.
Oh, that's
11 ounces.
hilarious. Big gulp.
So we call him Big Gulps.
Did
Oh, I
Rowan
love
come up with
that.
that, I think?
I can't remember.
But
Wow.
Wow.
That was so special.
That was a treat to hear that. It was beautiful.
Thank you. You have graced us both. Your whole story has edified us. And it is this little podcast room becomes holy. And for everyone that hasn't seen their end of the story, I beg you, don't give up. It's not over. The story's not finished. The book's not closed. Just don't give up, because the pain we know can feel unbearable. It's suffocating. You feel like you're gonna die, and sometimes you might want to die. But just don't give up, because there's joy, there's light at the other side. You might not be able to see the light, but if you can see any pinpoint of light, just keep going towards it. Don't give up.
Miracles happen.
Miracles happen. And that's how diamonds are formed. that heat and pressure, and you guys are so brilliant and so beautiful. And you know what? I love that the stone is rough and ugly and still worth something, but it's not until it's cut. And sometimes, this little diamond, it gets cut 50 to 60 times before we see it as something valuable. And your cutting might not be over, but the value's still there. And so thanks for sharing that with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.